okay. It's me, Reverend Thompson.
Oh, sorry, Reverend. Oh, you took me by surprise. What are you doing here today?
I came into work. This is my office, isn't it?
Oh, sure it is, but it's just Monday, you know. None of our other pastors ever come into Thursday. Something about recuperation or the like. Hey, maybe since you're new, you don't have as many wounds to heal.
Yeah, right. Whatever. Since I'm new here, and I've only been here 3 days, I don't know your name yet.
Oh, I'm Clifford. Clifford Gumption. I was named after my uncle.
I'm sure your Uncle Clifford is proud.
Oh, his name wasn't Clifford. It was Earl. My parents named me Cliff because my uncle jumped off one.
How horrible.
Oh, why? He set a new world record at that time for waterless cliff diving. You know what made him famous in these parts?
Did he live through it?
Oh, of course. Of course, he walked around in little circles for the rest of his life.
Well, it's good to meet you, Cliff. I presume you're the janitor for the church?
Good guess. Been the janitor for 20 years. Yeah, I've seen many a pastor come and go in my time. 19 of them, as a matter of fact. 20 counting you.
Well, technically, you've only seen me come.
Oh, not to worry. Good Lord willing, I'll be here to see you go as well.
We can only hope.
Hey, speaking of going, I was going to comment on your sermon yesterday.
I take it you didn't like it?
Heavens, no. I loved it. That story you told at the beginning made me and my wife laugh so hard, we almost went into convulsions.
I'm glad you liked it. It was a good way to point out how God can overcome all obstacles.
What? Point out what?
That was the meaning behind the story and my sermon, that God can overcome all obstacles.
Oh, well, I laughed so hard at your story that, tuckered me out and I fell asleep. But I'm sure it was a fine lesson.
It's been good talking with you, Clifford, but if you don't mind, I'm going to try to get a few things done. By the way, I noticed that one of the faucets in the bathroom was leaking. Could you fix it?
Oh, sure, I can take care of that. It's been good talking to you too, Reverend Thompson. But before I go, there's something I was going to give you as a welcoming gift. Since you're here, I might as well give it to you now.
Well, that's very thoughtful of you.
I would have wrapped it, but you came in early this week.
That's very generous of you, Clifford. Duct tape. Just what I needed.
Thought so. You know, I've always pictured life like a roll of duct tape. Now, pay attention, this is deep. Our lives go round and around and around and around, and they're filled with sticky situations.
Really?
Yep. Hey, you can use that in your sermon.
Maybe next week.
Okay, well, I'm going to get right on that faucet, try to fix it, and you have a good day and enjoy that tape.
You know, maybe I could use that on the third grade Sunday school class. It may be the only way to keep their little backsides in the seats. New Hope Church, Reverend Thompson speaking. Oh, hi, honey. Everything's going fine here. Yes, I just met the janitor. He was unique, to say the least. Yeah, I'm just trying to get settled in. You know what I heard from Reverend James this morning? Reverend Wills over at Faith Church in Rockford, he's getting ready to retire in a year or two. And if I play my cards right, I could be in line for that church. But I'll have to stick it out here till then and at least try to make some progress. But that won't be easy. They don't call this church the pastor's pit for nothing. Oh, gotta go, honey. I think I hear the secretary. Good morning.
Ah!
Oh, it's okay. It's me, Reverend Thompson.
What are you doing here?
I came into work.
I see. And are you planning on coming like this every week?
Well, most weeks, yes.
None of our other pastors ever came in this early.
I'm beginning to see why.
Well, if you're going to be here, you might as well know how things work. I'm here 9 to 12. Things that you need to see will go here. Absolute must-sees go here. Things that I think might result in your firing or suffering the internal flames of hell go here. And do not answer the phone. I will answer the phone. It might give the wrong impression. Has there been any phone calls this morning?
Just one, but it was just my wife.
I see. Well, please try to limit all personal phone calls. I am the church secretary, not your personal secretary. And things you want topped, go here. Things that need to be mailed, go here. And things for the bulletin, go here. It must not be in any later than Thursday afternoon. Got it?
Oh, I think so.
Good. Now I must warn you. We have a janitor here, and he is not to try and fix anything.
Whoops.
What?
If you're referring to Clifford Gumption, I just met him and kind of asked him to fix a leaky faucet.
Oh, great.
Why is that so bad? Isn't he the janitor?
Didn't you notice that he has a slight fondness for duct tape?
Oh, well, now that you mentioned it. But surely he wouldn't try to fix a leaky faucet with duct tape.
Let me show you something. You see that car parked at the end of the lot?
You mean that silver one?
Yeah, well, that's not silver paint.
You don't mean.
Yeah, covered his entire car with duct tape. Said it would last forever. Got a lawnmower and a car just like it at home. If the neighbors hadn't called the sheriff, he'd have a dog just like it too.
That's insane.
That's what I think. But his parents are the ones that donate the money for the new organ. So what do?
So you mean his parents are organ donors?
From now on, call someone else to fix things.
This is getting better all the time.
Hey, I got that leak fixed, Reverend. I just ran out of, oh, hey, here's a roll.
You were saying? In the future, check with me before you do anything. You can reach me on the intercom. I am here Monday through Friday, and I do not work overtime. Anything you want done after hours, you will do yourself. Got it?
Yeah. Boy, this is getting better all the time.
I forgot. I'm supposed to welcome you. On behalf of New Hope Church, we would like to welcome you with open arms. We embrace you as a pastor and friend.
Thank you, I think.
Good. Any questions?
Just one. What's your name?
Joy.
Joy. Boy, were her parents wrong. By the way, I'm expecting a shipment of my books any day now, and I would appreciate it if you would keep an eye out for them for me.
I'll try. But as I told you before, I leave promptly at noon. I won't wait around for some delivery guy.
I'm sure that won't be necessary.
Oh, and I almost forgot. If anyone comes in to the church asking for food or anything like that, send them away. We don't have anything for them here.
Wait, what? Why doesn't this church offer people assistance?
If you feed one stray dog, they all come running. There are better uses for our money, like your salary and the new baptism font. Of course, the new baptism font hasn't been used in 7 years. And the last time we used it was for a Dunkin' booth at a kiddie carnival that got rained out. But that's beside the point. Every church has one.
But I wasn't aware that the church was hurting for money.
You can never have enough money. As I was telling that guy I saw outside.
What guy?
Oh, that guy I met outside who was asking for food just a bit ago, I sent him away.
Where did you send him?
You know, away. There's another church that will help him. Who cares where he goes? He'll find help elsewhere.
That's just not right. We should be able to help him here.
Why?
I'm going to go get him.
If you want to help him, is coming out of your own pocket.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What could that man be thinking?
Was that the new pastor? He just about ran me down.
Oh, hi, Sarah. Yep, that's our pastor, all right. He's off to catch a vagrant. He has some fool notion that we should help those people.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Well, that's just not the way things work around here. I know we're supposed to help people, but those people, they just take your money and nothing good ever comes of it. Besides, wasn't it in the good book that said the Lord helps those that help themselves?
Where exactly is that found?
The book of Paul, I think. If we keep helping them, how are they ever going to help themselves?
Well, if it's in scripture, I guess that makes sense.
It sure does. What are you doing in the office this morning?
Well, I just thought I would come in and go through the music files, try to get a jump on next month's music.
New Hope Church. Reverend Thompson. He was here, but he's out chasing down a vagrant right now. Maybe there's something I can help you with. Reverend Thompson's still new here and doesn't know what's going on. Dr. Michaels? Sure. Can I let him know what this is about? Concerning his meeting with you the other day, the results are in. It's almost over. He'll know what this is all about, right? Sure, Doc. I'll give him the message.
Well, what was that all about?
It was a message from Reverend Thompson's doctor.
It sounded serious to me. You know, one of those I've only got 6 months to live speeches.
What's going on, ladies? Anything I can fix?
Oh, our new pastor's already got 1 foot in the grave.
Now, we don't know that. It could be good news, right?
Probably it's prostrate.
Oh, I don't know. What do you think? It sure doesn't sound good to me. I mean, it won't be the first time we've had a pastor to die on us. What, have we got 5 now? We must be the church where pastors go to die.
Those were all flukes. It's not our fault they keep sending us old pastors.
Reverend Holmes was only 56, and Reverend Little, he was a runner before he had a heart attack and fell over dead. And then there was Reverend Summers.
Gotta be the prostrate. It's a killer.
All right. I get the point. But it still doesn't make sense to me. We're such a loving bunch of people.
And we are financially sound, and we haven't had any serious declines in membership in quite some time. Plus, we have that lovely revolving stained glass mural. We are a pastor's paradise.
Yeah. And if you count the weekend, and today, well, he's only been here 3 days. If he dies now, that would tie our record.
Yes, 3 days. Poor Reverend Little. But maybe we can avoid this. You know, he's not dead yet.
I hope so. I mean, he is kind of weird, but he did come in on Monday, so that should count for something. And he seems kind of nice. At any rate, I don't want him to die. Funerals are so depressing.
I'll get some Metamucil.
I agree. You know, we shouldn't let on like we know anything. We don't want to upset him and cause an early departure, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Come in. We'll get you fixed up here real soon.
Reverend Thompson, this is Sarah Raleigh, our church choir director.
Oh, yes, we met briefly yesterday. Everyone, this is Sammy. Sammy, this is Cliff, Sarah, and Joy.
Right. Nice to meet you fine folks. Sure is nice for y'all to help.
What is that interesting smell?
Sorry. Haven't had a place to clean up in a while. I don't mean to offend you.
Clifford, our friend here, needs a place to clean up. Could you help him out?
I think I can help him out with that. I can't help but to notice that your clothes are a little tattered.
Yeah, they're a little torn.
I think I can help you out with that. Are you a 32 or a 34?
38.
38?
I wonder if I should call the sheriff.
So, Sarah, what brings you by today?
Oh, nothing important. I just thought I'd get a jump on next month's choir specials. That's all right with you, isn't it? I mean, that doesn't upset you or cause you any concern, does it?
No, not at all. In fact, I wanted to tell you that yesterday's choral anthem was definitely distinctive. I don't recall ever hearing How Great Thou Art played with the all-kazoo backup band before.
Oh, my, yes. The Nelson triplets never sounded better. You know, they've been working on that piece for months. Their performance almost brought tears to my eyes.
Yes, the thought of crying occurred to me as well.
Well, have you given any thought to your sermon next week? I mean, I'm not wanting to rush you or push you or make you stressed or anything like that, but I always like to pick out a song that goes along with the message.
As a matter of fact, I have. The title of my sermon will be, Where Will You Be Spending Eternity? I'll be talking about God's gift of salvation.
Oh, goody! That'll tie right in with my Revelation medley. I've been dying to do it. Oh, pardon the pun, dying. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean dying. But anyway, I think you're going to like it. The beat starts out kind of slow, but it builds to the ending, has kind of a calypso feel. And then at the end, we have some island flavor, and we might even get Joy to play the maracas. What do you think, Joy?
When donkeys fly, Sarah. Have you been thinking a lot about death and eternity lately, Reverend Thompson?
No, not especially, but the topic is not so uncommon. Why do you ask?
Oh, nothing. Here's a message for you.
You know, Joy, with some heavy-duty wire strung across the sanctuary, I believe we can carry out that donkey flying thing. You know, it might just be a showpiece. Something interesting, Pastor?
Oh, no, it's nothing really. It's nothing.
Oh, Pastor, before I forget, when I was out in the hall with Cliff, the delivery guy came and he left your box out there. Do you want me to bring it in for you?
You want to get my packages for me?
It's, well, your first day and all, but don't expect it all the time.
Thanks, but I can get it myself.
What do you think about this one right here? You know, I'm still thinking about that donkey flying thing. I believe we can pull it off. I believe we can.
Boy, this one is a little heavier than it looks. I mean, oh!
Oh, Lord! Oh, Lord! He's had a heart attack! Oh, open your arms, Jesus, and let him come in! Oh,
What are you talking about? I just strained my back. It's an old football injury.
I just thought maybe it was worse than that.
I shouldn't have let you carry that, a man in your condition.
My condition? What are you talking about? That's just a stupid back problem. I just need to sit down for a few minutes. It'll go away on its own.
I meant to say that you must be exhausted after your first day and moving and all and everything.
Why don't you just go into your office and relax, and we'll get the box for you.
Yeah, you do that, and I'll make sure you're not interrupted.
Well, okay. I believe I will.
That was a close one.
Tell me about it. That poor man doesn't even have a clue. He just thinks it's some football injury.
This morning has been really... I don't know how much more I can take.
Anyway, what do you think?
Good morning, Joy. Is the new pastor in? I thought I saw a different car in the pastor's parking spot.
Yes. Good morning, Miss Von der Smith. Yep, that's our pastor, all right. He's in, but I promised him no interruptions for a while. He needs to rest.
His first day, and he already needs a rest. Oh, he's either someone with no stamina or a lazy no account that is using our church as an excuse for a cushy job.
No, I assure you, it is nothing like that. He has been very busy already this morning. He's even helped a homeless man, even though I told him not to.
Oh dear, I do hope this won't be a problem. We've been through this in the past, and it is not the way our church wants to spend its money. I don't know. If we start supporting all these bleeding heart causes, I might have to withdraw my support from this church.
Yes, Mrs. Vanden Versten Vonner Smith. We all know the largesse of your tithing, and I'm sure the new pastor would not want to do anything to jeopardize that.
We'll have to hope so. Where is he from exactly?
I'm not sure, but I think he went to seminary in Cleveland.
Ooh, I've heard some bad things about that seminary. Just a bunch of hippie preachers there.
It was Cleveland or Pittsburgh.
Ooh, not Pittsburgh. That's even worse. Oh, nothing there but a bunch of hippie blockheads. Ooh.
Well, originally, he's from California.
California, there's no telling what kind of sappy, love, hippie stuff he's going to give us.
I know. You might just have to take your money elsewhere.
Exactly. I had better set him straight right away.
But please, Lord, don't let her kill him.
Oh, good, you're not busy.
I was. Excuse me, do I know you?
Oh, my name is Mrs. May von Versten Bonner Smith, with a hyphen. My family has been in this congregation since it was founded, and I am the chairman of your administrative council.
It's very nice to meet you. What can I do for you?
Oh, well, I always try to, get acquainted with every new pastor, and since you were here, I just thought I'd come in and get you more acquainted with our fine little church.
I was able to meet quite a few of you on Sunday.
Yes, Sunday. That was an interesting sermon, but we don't go in much for humor around here.
What about the choir special? It wasn't exactly traditional.
That's different. Sarah Riley's husband donated the North Wing, so we have to put up with her brand of eccentricity. Otherwise, church should be serious. Also, I couldn't help but notice you changed our order of worship.
I thought it worked better that way. Besides, a little flexibility is good.
When a pastor cannot keep an order to worship, it's a sure sign that he's a little unstable.
I'll make a note of that.
Come here, Pastor. I want to show you something. Do you see all of these men? They're all our former pastors.
There sure is a lot of them.
Yes, we've seen many come and many go.
Is the date at the bottom of the picture the year they came or the year they left?
Why, both, of course.
Sorry I asked.
I think you will find us to be a formidable church. Our congregation is over 100 years old, and we've made it this long by not rocking the boat.
But your congregation size goes down every year.
Not by much. And if you start changing things, it will go down even faster.
What about reaching new people?
If other people wanted to be at our church, they would already be here, now wouldn't they?
Well, that's one way of looking at it.
That is our way of looking at it. And we need a pastor who can see things the way we do. I hope you are that man. I must be going.
Good day, Miss Smith.
Oh, that is Mrs. von Versten Bonner Smith with a hyphen.
That did go very well.
You're alive. It must have not been too bad. I did try to stop her.
Well, that's okay. I don't think that woman has ever been stopped from doing anything in her entire life. What in the world?
Got him cleaned up, got his clothes fixed up as well.
Are you all right, Sammy?
Sure. Cliff says these clothes will last forever. They do kind of chafe a little bit.
What is that smell?
Hold that. After I got him cleaned up, his clothes still kind of smelled. So I got a couple of those toilet bowl freshener tablets, and I duct taped them to the armpits of his jacket.
It's pine scented.
Pine scented.
I'll take your word for it. Thanks, Cliff, for trying to help.
Yeah, no problem. Holler if you need anything.
Thanks, Cliff.
Joy, can you come out here a minute?
What in the world?
I'm sorry about this, Sammy. Well, I promise we'll get you taken care of here real
Oh my goodness.
It's okay. I've got no place else to be.
Albert is here to see you.
soon. Who?
Albert Finkel. He's supposed to provide a special number for church this Sunday, and he needs to go over it with you.
Joy, I'm trying to take care of Sammy here. I'm sure whatever he does will be fine.
No, trust me, you need to talk to him, but just remember, stay calm.
Fine. Send him in.
Hello, Reverend. I don't think we've met before.
You must be the Easter Bunny.
And you must be the Tin Men from Wizard of Oz. You're not the competition, are you?
You must be Albert.
Yes, but on Sunday I'll be the big, bad Easter Bunny.
What?
Easter's getting over-commercialized. Everywhere you look, it's Easter Bunny this and Easter Bunny that. Well, I thought I'd do a number where I'm the Easter Bunny and I come out and I do a little dance, you know, and then I fall and break my neck. Just acting, of course. Then I'm healed by the power of God. You know, an interpretive dance on the death of commercialized Easter and the rebirth of God-centered Easter holiday.
But it's not even close to Easter.
Easter is for all times.
Wonderful.
You think so?
Albert,
But why do you smell like bathroom?
Albert, I appreciate your effort, but I don't think that'll be appropriate for church.
You mean you don't like it?
It's not that your heart's not in the right place. I just don't think people will appreciate it.
And I thought you hippie freaks were supposed to be into new ideas.
What?
Well, at least that's what Mae Von Versten Vonner Thingy Smith said about you. That you come from them liberal seminars, and you grew up in California, so you had all these weird ideas about our little church.
That's not a very accurate picture of me, I'm afraid.
What if I promise not to use any fake blood when I die?
I don't think so.
Suit yourself. I guess I'll try something else.
It was a good effort, though.
You think so? I'll think up of a good one, Reverend. Just you wait.
I'm sorry, Pastor. Word must have got out that you were here. I couldn't very well send him back out looking like that.
That's quite all right, Joy. I had to see that one for myself.
I'm afraid that Albert Finkel's weird antics are partly my fault.
How are you responsible?
Well, Albert really wanted to be in the choir. And for 16 years as the choir director, I have never kept anyone out of the choir. Well, anyone but Albert Finkel.
You kicked him out of the choir?
That man had the worst voice you have ever heard, and he had no clue how to turn the volume down. I didn't want to keep him out, but a church choir does have some standards.
I can understand that. What about the Energizer Bunny routine?
Well, Albert believes that I've squelched his creative juices. So he's always trying to come up with something to outdo the choir. He has all these psycho performances just tucked away.
So far, though, he has been fairly tame, but he probably figures with you being new and all that maybe he could get by with more. Thanks for letting him down easy.
No problem.
Well, I think I have enough to get started. Hey, Joy, why don't you come and play the piano for this piece right here?
You play the piano too?
I just play the backup. I play well enough to get by. Could you answer the phone? If your back is better, that is.
Well, what happened to your rule about no one else answering the phone?
Oh, that. I was in a bad mood this morning and I was put off guard to see you here on Monday. Normally, I am one of the sweetest people you will ever meet. Right, Sarah? Right, Sarah?
Oh, yeah. We are just all one big happy family here, preacher.
We'll be right back.
Oh, I hope Dr. Michaelson's right.
What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. I kind of forgot about you. It's just that one of the bishops of the church, Dr. Michaels, he knows that this wasn't the first church on the pick of my list. In fact, it's the last church on my list. In fact, it's the last church on every pastor's list. So he sent me a message telling me that I might not have to be here all that long.
You just got here and you're already leaving?
No, it's not like that. It's just good to know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Could be a train.
What?
That light you're looking at might not be the best thing.
I don't think you know what it's like here.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad.
Not that bad. Ever since I stepped foot into this town, it's been wrong, all wrong. Everyone here hates me, and the only people who don't are crazy.
They seem nice enough.
Oh, sure. The secretary thinks I'm stupid, and the wealthiest, most powerful member of my congregation thinks I'm a hippie freak.
Well, Cliff seems to like you.
Cliff, do you know what he did the first time I met him? He gave me a present.
Well, that was nice.
It was a roll of duct tape. Can you believe it?
I kind of got the feeling Cliff likes duct tape.
Of course he does. It's the most important thing to him in the world.
So somebody gave you a gift that was the most important thing in the world to him?
Well, I guess you could say that, but it's weird. That's all. This church is dead. There's no life here at all. It's comatose. Doesn't matter. I'll be moving on in a while anyway. Moving on to a church where I can do some good.
Why did you become a pastor?
The same reason most pastors do, to spread the good news of Jesus Christ to those people.
What people?
Those people who need it the most. And boy, do these people need it.
Have you ever worked with turkeys?
You mean before I came here?
Well, once, when a storm was coming, my father told me to go to the barn and put the turkeys up. So I went outside and I tried to herd them to the barn, but they just wouldn't go. So I got behind them and I pushed and I kicked them in the tail feathers and I pushed and I kicked them some more, but they just would not go in the barn. So my father came out and said, "Don't kick the turkeys." He said, "Instead, get in front of them and they'll follow you to the barn." Well, I got in front of them and they all followed me to the barn. So I guess they had rather die in a familiar place than to be pushed down an unfamiliar road to salvation.
You're a wise man, Sammy.
Well, of course, I did forget to lock the barn door, and they got out and half of them died. Boy, was my dad mad. Seeing that old picture made me think of that.
Still, I don't know if there's any hope here. Maybe I should pray for a natural disaster or something. That would take care of things in one fell swoop.
Maybe a disaster is just what you need.
What? What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing. Something I've just been working on.
Well, Sammy, we've kept you waiting long enough. Let's see if we can get you some food. Hang on just a minute. I better get this. New Hope Church. Oh, hi, Cheryl. Of course I remember you. How you doing? What? What does that mean? You're kidding me. Listen, this isn't a good time. But, isn't there somewhere else? All right. I'll be over to talk to you about it in a few minutes.
What's up, Reverend Thompson?
I think our disaster has just arrived. Hi, honey, it's me. Yeah, everyone is here now. Hope this church is still standing after today. No, I didn't have any idea how long it was going to last, or how long I will last either. What could I do? After the pipes burst in their building, the daycare center had nowhere else to go. I couldn't just turn them away, could I? I know, but I guess I'm still trying to convince myself it was the right thing to do. There are 20 children here altogether. No, none of the staff is here yet, but they should be here soon. Can you do me a favor? Run down to the motel and check on Sammy. I put him up there for the night, and he should be getting up soon. Thanks, honey. Oh, hi, Cliff. So I take it you noticed the
Oh, yeah, I noticed the children, all right.
I know what you're thinking, but let me explain.
Just how long have you been married, Reverend?
What? About 11 years now.
Yeah, uh-huh. Now, as far as I can tell, there's about 20 children out there, right?
Yes, that's about right.
Now, I may not be a brain surgeon, but even I know that all those children out there can't be the legitimate children of you and your wife.
What? But Cliff.
No buts, Reverend. Now, we've had pastors bring their children to church with them before, but this is too much. Now, I don't know how they do things out in hippie California, but around here, this kind of lifestyle is unacceptable, especially for a pastor. And believe me, they're going to notice, because even if you and your wife was cranking out them babies as fast as you could, there's no way that you could have that many children in that little time. And you know what? Some of those kids don't even look like you.
You don't understand.
Oh, I understand, all right. And who are all those women? Your wives? I knew it. You're a Mormon, aren't you? Oh, this is going to look very, very bad on this church. Come on, Reverend Thompson. And I use that term loosely. No wonder you're so close to dying. Nobody, and I mean nobody.
Cliff! Those are not my children.
What?
Those children out there are from the daycare center. They had a pipe burst through the building, so I'm letting them use our facility until repairs can be made.
You know something? Come to think of it, some of those kids did look familiar. I'm sorry, Reverend. It's just that I've been painting in some enclosed spaces, and whew, those fumes will get to you.
Forget it. It was just a mistake. So let's forget it.
That's right, just a simple mistake. It happened to anyone.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
So how long is the kids going to be here?
Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe just a week or a little longer.
Uh-oh.
What?
Have you mentioned this to Joy?
I was going to tell her when she came in today. Why?
Let's just say that Joy's not overly fond of children. In fact, she claims she was cloned as an adult and never had a childhood herself.
I'm sure you're just exaggerating, Cliff. She'll take it all in stride.
Pastor, I don't believe that Joy has a stride. All she has is ramming speed.
You've got a point there. But she just has to realize that I didn't have any other choice. I had no place else to go. I fully realize that she might be upset, but she's going to have to deal with it. And I'm sure she will. After all, how bad could she be?
Pastor, have you ever seen the movie Apocalypse Now?
Cliff, it's only for a short while. She'll understand, I'm sure. Joy,
There are children in this church.
let me explain.
I thought I walked into the wrong church, but here you are, and there are children here.
It's the kids from the daycare center. The pipes burst in their building, so I invited them to.
So you invited them to use our facility? Great.
It's not that big of a deal.
Not that big of a deal. Do you know what children are like? They are loud, dirty, obnoxious, and they smell. Not to mention, they carry every disease known to mankind. They will destroy this church. They are monsters, I tell you. Little, runny-nosed monsters.
They are children who needed someplace to go. Isn't that what the church is here for?
So first, you go chasing down vagrants. Then, you invite the children to use our facilities.
They are children who needed someplace to go. Isn't that what the church is here for?
You should know I don't like children.
Yes, I gather as much, but it won't be forever. Maybe just a week.
A week? You know I have vacation time coming up.
No, I really need you here this week. It's going to be crazy with the daycare center here, me getting settled in. You're leaving for a week would most likely do me in for good.
Oh, well, we wouldn't want that. I mean, I guess I could stay and help for a little while, if it means that much to you.
Thanks. You just saved my life.
It had better.
Children, settle down. Now listen to Marcia. Davy Allen, put that down. Right there. Now listen, put it down. And don't glue any more children's fingers together. Hi, Reverend Thompson. You wouldn't have some cups that we could use for a craft activity, would you?
I thought we might have some somewhere. Let me check. Joy, could you get some cups for Cheryl, please?
And so it starts.
She's getting them, Cheryl. It sounds like you've got your hands full in there.
Oh, nothing we can't handle, just a typical day at the daycare center. Really, it's just that Davy Allen. He's a good kid, but he just won't settle down. I don't know what we're going to do with him.
I don't envy your job at all.
Hey, I couldn't help you over here, but I think I can help you with that.
No, Cliff, I appreciate the offer, but
I think we could use your help.
Well, let's just say that I have a way with children and small animals.
That's all. Well, sorry.
Cliff, it's nice of you to offer, but there's another way, I'm sure.
Please, Pastor, let him try. A male influence might be really good on the kids.
You know what? I think I got just the thing to settle him down.
Cheryl, you don't understand.
Hey, I'm desperate. Let him help.
Anything is probably what you're going to get.
Here's the cups you asked for.
Thank you.
Good morning, Sarah. This is Cheryl from the daycare center.
Oh, Pastor Cheryl and I go way back. Once upon a time, I even dated her brother. How are you doing this morning, Cheryl?
I've had better days, but I can't complain.
I don't know how you do it. Those kids would drive me crazy within a minute. We haven't had this much noise and activity in this church in 20 years.
I think it's kind of nice to have so much life in the church.
Well, you probably could use it. Well, I mean, we could all use it.
We had just better hope that Mrs. Vonder Smith doesn't find out about this. We will all be in some serious trouble. My sentiments, exactly.
I want to know what is going on, and I want to know right now.
It's the daycare center. The pipes in the building burst, and they're using our facility until they can get back into their place.
Our facility? Did you say our facility? I do not recall you ever making a donation to a building project around here, and I do not recall you being here your whole life, making all your hard work and effort into making this a church we can be proud of.
But they had no place else to go.
Now, Mr. Well, I guess you're a miss. Von Verstenheimer - Smith. Don't act so hastily. You know, our pastor, give him a little slack.
And why? I mean, first he takes in someone off the street, and then he opens our doors to anyone who asks. This is no longer a church. It's an open house to the world.
But this church should be open to the world.
Let me tell you something.
Oh, May, just come with me. Come with me, and I will explain everything.
Yes, we don't want to upset the pastor. It is only his 4th day.
And why not? Why? I'm not through talking with him yet.
Yes. Trust me. I'll explain everything.
This had better be good.
I can assure you, it's a killer.
And don't you go anywhere. I'm not done talking with you
Okay.
yet.
I think that went well, don't you?
Just peachy. You know, it's funny. That lady always knows just the wrong time to show up. She either has incredible radar or a hidden microphone in this office somewhere.
Well, Ben, I have to apologize. If I hadn't asked you to take us in, we wouldn't be having all these problems.
No, I wouldn't have it any other way. I should have expected this kind of reaction. On the other hand, who could have expected this kind of reaction? The chairman of my administrative council reminds me of Cruella de Vil. And when it comes to my secretary, she's the wicked witch of the West when it comes to children.
Yes, you certainly have some characters around here.
Pastor, I've had an inspiration.
Oh, no.
It came to me last night as I was thinking about standing here. It's based on that verse, love God with all your heart, kidney, gut, pancreas, something else.
Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength.
Right, that's from the book of Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy 6:5.
Right, are you familiar with it, Pastor?
Yes, it's also quoted by Jesus in Mark 12.
Well, what better way than just demonstrate that commandments and not keeping through someone with no brain
That's me.
and someone with no heart, that's me.
I can agree on that much at least. But what exactly are you planning on doing?
I've rewritten the words to "If I Only Had a Brain" that I believe will get the point across.
That sounds very interesting.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cheryl. This is Sammy, and I think you know Albert.
Hello, Sammy. Yes, Pastor Albert is kind of well known around here.
Albert, you say you've written a song?
Rewritten words to be precise.
Then you plan on singing?
Yep, it's gonna be great. Here, Sammy, let's give them a taste of what's to come.
Brace yourself.
Oh, your life may seem okays, but you're gonna go to Hades if you never had a heart for God. Oh, you might think things are swell, but you're gonna wind up in hell if you never have a heart for God. Take it, Sammy.
If you never have a heart for God,
You might think life is slamming, but God's judgment will
Whoa. I think we've heard enough. Albert, maybe you should try something else. Maybe something a little more tame.
But Pastor,
Pastor, we've been talking, and we can see your position on this matter, right, Mrs. Vonner Smith?
I guess so. I mean, it's nothing to have a stroke about, now is it?
Why? No, it isn't. I'm so glad you've come to accept this.
Oh, I am still not the least bit happy about this, Pastor. I mean, this is my church after all. I've spent a lot of time trying to make it the church I want it to be.
I understand your feeling, Mrs. Von Vatter Smatter Smith. But this church is supposed to be here for other people as well.
It's just not worth arguing about now, Pastor. I mean, we don't want to upset you and give you a coronary or anything, now do we?
I appreciate that. And I'm giving you my personal assurance that this will not be a problem. The daycare center is in the capable hands of Cheryl and her assistants. And I'm sure you won't even notice they're here.
Really?
Do you see a boy come through here duct taped to a big red ball? I almost had him, Cheryl, but I'm on the job.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
There's something you don't see every day.
I think I better get out there. I think things have gone from under control. Ever since the pipes burst, everybody's in a tizzy.
What are you supposed to be?
I'm the scarecrow with no heart.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Things seem to be breaking down, but rather quickly, Pastor.
Albert, I have a job for you. Why don't you and Sammy go entertain the children in the daycare? You know, at least until Cheryl gets herself settled in.
Great, Sammy. We can sing to them.
No, don't. Don't sing. Maybe just dance around a little bit, or let Sammy sing the correct words to that song.
Oh, all right. Come on, Sammy.
I'm going to go help Cliff or Davy Allen, whichever the case may be. I'm glad you've come to accept this, Mrs. Von Vatter Hammer Lamond Smith. At least a little bit. Please just be patient. I'm sure you'll see the good that this church is doing.
You know what? I thought the last few pastors we had were losers. This guy's the worst. And on top of it, we can't even set him straight, because if we do, he might up and die on us if we do. Oh.
I'm tired of breaking in new pastors. Is it just me, or all the pastors a few dunks short of a full baptism, if you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, don't get too comfortable now, Joy. If I have my way, he won't be here long. Once we get to the bottom of this medical condition, or he dies, whichever comes first, then we'll set about the task of finding a suitable person to pastor a respectable church such as we are.
I'm just glad you didn't kill him this morning.
Yes, to be perfectly honest, I wasn't sure that you'd even care if he had a potentially fatal condition. I mean, I thought you were going to rip him to shreds or something.
How could you say such a thing, Sarah? I mean, of course I don't want him to die. It wouldn't look good on our church. I mean, after Reverend Little died, it took us almost 6 months to find someone who would agree to serve here. We got so desperate, we almost asked Albert to preach one Sunday.
One thing's for sure, Reverend Thompson has shaken things up more in 4 days than any other pastor has the whole time they were here.
Yes, this has been an eventful few days. I hope it doesn't set the tone for the entire time that man is here.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Haven't you been paying attention?
I mean, would that be such a bad thing?
What?
yeah.
You've got to be kidding. Apparently, you had your eyes closed when a kid, duct taped to a big red ball, came parading through here. Not to mention, we have half the cast of The Wizard of Oz entertaining 20 monkeys in the next room. What's next? Flying monkeys?
Now, wait a minute, Joy. You have to admit that things have gotten pretty stale around here lately. And by lately, I mean the last 15 or 20 years. I mean, I think it would be great. I think he's here to shake things up.
No. What you call stale, now I call tradition.
I've got nothing against tradition, May. But maybe, just maybe, we need a new thing. Maybe the pastor's right.
considering Reverend Thompson might kick the bucket before long, I think preserving the status quo would be in everyone's best interest. He shouldn't be shaking things up if he's not going to be around to fix them when they fall apart.
I agree with Joy. This church has survived this long by sticking to what is tried and true. Why, I am sure my grandfather is just rolling over in his grave from the events of today alone. I mean, people need tradition. It is the glue that holds our society together. It is the lack of tradition, in my opinion, that society is falling apart today. I mean, tradition is what makes us what we are. It is what gives us a foundation upon which to live our lives. It is tradition that gives us the right to live as our parents and our grandparents saw fit. Tradition is the fiber in our cultural diet. It keeps us healthy and fit. Why do you think Adam and Eve bit that apple in the first place? Being the first people on the planet, they have no tradition. And as God is my witness, don't you make fun of me, I'm being totally serious here.
I'm sorry, May. I know you're right about tradition. It does have its place. But when we start putting tradition above the needs of people, are we really doing what God wants us to do?
If we start changing the way I can't even talk. Oh, if we start changing the way we do things at this church will surely die. We survive only by sticking to what we've tried and true.
I'm afraid I have to agree with May, Sarah. We don't need a change of course right now. Not if we want this church to stay alive.
But are we alive?
What are you talking about now?
I know it sounds crazy, but look at us. We've been declining in membership every year, and I can't think of the last time that we've helped anyone or started a new ministry. Can you?
The old ministries have always worked before.
Well, they might work for you, May, but they certainly don't work for me.
I don't mean to be rude, Sarah, but just because the way we do things doesn't seem attractive to you doesn't mean they're no good. No offense, but your tastes do seem to be a little off.
Yes. Anyone who thinks that an all-bagpipe community youth choir is a good idea doesn't actually seem qualified to criticize other ministries.
I know you think what I do in church is weird, but don't you see? The reason that I do it is to get some kind of reaction. All we do is come in, sit down in the pew, our same pews, by the way. Heaven forbid that anybody new comes in and sits in our pew. It's dead. It's just dead. I thought maybe I could do something that would just shake us up a little bit. Every week the choir sings their special and we get that little smattering of applause. And then I lead the worship and they stare back at me like this, right here. Dead stares. I don't know, maybe the children and Sammy and Reverend Thompson, maybe what he's trying to do is to wake us up.
I don't know, Sarah, maybe, but did it have to be children? Why couldn't it have been the ladies' local tea and house tour society whose pipes bust? Tea, I can handle. This, I'm not so sure of.
This is just too much, by the way. I've got to do something before this whole church falls apart. What in heaven's name is going on back here? What are you doing? Don't you take that tone of voice with me, young lady. Don't you know who I am? Oh my goodness, did you see what they just did to me?
I am so sorry. Jennifer and Diane got away from us. I'll pick all this up. It won't happen again, I promise.
Oh, the nerve.
Calm down, May. I don't think it's anything personal.
Did you see them? Those little children literally pelted me with all of their little children things. Oh my goodness. Did you? I've never been so humiliated. So, oh my goodness.
Don't take it personally, May.
Oh, it was personal to me. It was a direct attack. It was a direct attack against my stature, my reputation.
May, I think you might be overreacting just a little bit.
Those little cretins were vicious. They were disagreeable. They were rude and obnoxious. They were.
May, please don't take it so hard.
Yeah, it really wasn't anything personal.
It's not that really. It's just that they
Yes?
They remind me so much of me. You didn't know me when I was little, of course, but I was kind of temperamental and obnoxious and rude, and I was really hard to get along with.
Really? Thank God you've changed.
I know. I mean, oh goodness. It's just so hard to believe. But really what it is that seeing those little ones made me realize how much emptiness not having a child's left in my heart.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, why didn't you have any children?
I did.
What?
That little girl back there, she reminded me so much of how my Anna would have been.
Who is Anna?
She was my daughter. Yeah, you heard right. When I was in college, I was married briefly to a brilliant artist. Oh, he was handsome and dashing, and we fell hopelessly in love, and we got married before we really got to know one another. As fate would have it, I found myself pregnant just a few months later, and I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, my Anna.
Well, we certainly didn't know anything about this. May, why didn't you tell us?
Oh, I was too ashamed. You see, after just a couple years, Frank and I realized we were totally incompatible. He was totally consumed with his art, but he had no ambition to further himself with it. I had grown up with all of the finer things in life, and I was accustomed to that lifestyle. So I started going after wealthy men.
While you were still married?
I told you I'm not very proud of this. Anyway, Frank finally got fed up with me and sued for divorce. He got custody of Anna. He moved to Europe to pursue his art.
Why didn't you fight for Anna? With your family's power and their money, surely you could have won.
There were a lot of reasons at the time. I was already engaged to marry Mr. Smith, and he told me he had no intention of raising another man's child. Plus, I just didn't feel like suitable mother material. I'm sure she's been better off with Frank.
I know you think I hate children, but it's just the opposite is true. I love kids, but Gerald and I just weren't able to have anything. We tried. The doctor just gave me some huge medical term and dismissed me like yesterday's news.
Dear, if you wanted children so badly, why didn't you adopt?
We tried at first, but one thing after another just fell through. And after a while, we just took it as a sign that we weren't meant to have kids. I guess the whole experience has just made me a little bitter toward children.
Oh my, that is just so sad. I can't have babies either.
Sarah.
Yes.
You have 3 beautiful children.
Oh, I just got a little carried away with the moment. Oh, that's
funny.
Corey, I can see you're having a moment.
No way. It's okay. I wanted to talk to you anyway. Where's Albert?
The kids found some matches and he ran out of church yelling something about an inspiration. I think he'll be back soon.
Well, anyway, like I said, I want to talk to you.
No need, no need. I wouldn't have come back, except I just wanted to tell Pastor thank you for helping me.
Oh, goodness.
That's what I mean. I treated you badly, and I shouldn't have treated you badly. I shouldn't have turned you away. I guess I was having a bad day.
So you would normally help someone like me?
Well, no. I guess my apology to you is an apology to all the needy people I have turned away.
I understand. After all, you do have a policy here.
Yes, I'm afraid that's my fault. I am the one who put that policy into effect. You know, I guess I've worked all these years to make this church my personal sanctuary. Anything from the outside I've seen as a threat, including you and Reverend Thompson and every other minister we've had over the last 20 years.
Did you have your sanctuary?
No. Funny thing is, I've been trying to build these walls to keep the painful things out, but I think it's served just to keep the painful things in.
I know what you mean. It's much, much easier to control the things around you than it is to control the things in your very heart.
Well, the world works from the outside in. God works from the inside out.
What was it that Reverend Thompson said to us? This church exists for our community.
Maybe it's time, May.
Time for what?
Time to try a new tactic. Why don't we quit closing doors and start opening them?
I don't know. Old habits do die hard.
Well, we just take one step at a time.
And I know the first step. Sammy, I want to take you out to get you some food and whatever else you need.
And, you know, let's take it a step further. Why don't we open a food bank within the church for the people in our community?
Oh, that would be such a great idea. You know, we had one in the past, May. It shouldn't be hard to start it up again.
I also want to get you some new clothes, unless you are particularly attached to those.
Adhered to might be a better word. But no, I would rather you help someone else out.
Like who?
Haven't you noticed the children?
Well, I have noticed that they seem a little bit dirty and their clothes are a bit worn. It's hard for me to believe that parents would send their children to daycare in that condition.
Well, the daycare is a nonprofit organization. It helps the parents who cannot afford daycare for normal. So that's why they have to stay in that old rundown building with bad pipes and other rundown conditions, because they have no money.
I didn't realize that.
Those poor babies. They could and should have better than that.
Well, what do you suggest?
Why not let them just stay here? I mean, I'm sure we could find some clothes for them as well.
Wonderful. And I could even help out when I'm not busy in the afternoons.
Oh, this is such great news. We've got to tell Cheryl.
I'll go tell her.
Great.
I think this is going to be interesting. It's going to be so good. It's going to be great.
For the kids.
Well, I think things are back under control now. Now, listen, ladies. I know that things are going to be chaotic, but I assure you,
The things are perfectly wonderful.
I know it's going to be difficult for a while, but if you just give it a chance,
Oh,
it's a-
Reverend Thompson, we're going to start a food bank in the church.
And the daycare center will be using this facility permanently, or at least as long as they want.
And I'm going to help out in the afternoons.
am I in the right place?
Oh, you're definitely in the right place. We've been thinking, And it seems like we're ready to open up to some new things around here.
Exactly.
That's great. I mean, it's better than great. It's amazing. But if you don't mind me asking, a little while ago you were ready to kick me out of here. Why the change?
Well, let's just say that God works from the inside out.
Amen.
Well, it seems like we're off to a much better start.
It's just a shame you're not going to be around to see it.
Why do the good die young?
What are you talking about?
I'm afraid we know about your condition. I mean, you know the message the doctor left for you yesterday? We've been amazed at how bravely you've taken this news.
What message?
From Dr. Michaels. He said you don't have long to live.
Oh no. He said that I wouldn't be here long now. He wasn't talking about my physical condition. He was talking about my time serving this church.
Why would your doctor be saying this?
He's not my medical doctor. He's a doctor of biblical studies. He's also one of the deacons of our denomination. He's the one responsible for assigning me to this church.
So, you mean you're not dying?
Not that I know of.
Part of me wants to kill you myself.
I mean, how? How could you lead us on this way?
I didn't lead you on.
You had us worried sick.
Here we were, tap dancing around you like you were on death's bed. And you are probably healthier than we are.
You mean that's the reason you started being a little nicer to me?
A little nicer? I almost gave myself a hernia being nice to you.
I have something I must admit. This church wasn't the first pick of my places to go. In fact, it was the last on my list. In fact, it's the last on everyone's list. Dr. Michaels knew this, and he sent me that message to tell me that I might not have to deal with this burden for very long.
Burden. I see. We're a burden to you.
I'm afraid that's how I saw it at first. I apologize. You know, I realize now that I'd already written you off as lost causes. And my actions probably subconsciously were an attempt to get you to throw me out of here. I never dreamed it would turn out this way.
I can't say that I blame you, Pastor. I thought our church would be a pastor's dream, but instead, it's a pastor's nightmare.
It was a pastor's nightmare. Things are about to change. I think they're already looking up.
You know that's right. I feel better about myself and about things than I have for many years.
That's right, Mrs. Burson Vernon with the Hereford. You know, the Lord does work in mysterious ways, kind of like this duct tape. Have you ever noticed and studied just how duct tape
Yes,
works?
Cliff. The Lord does work in mysterious ways. If Sammy hadn't been here, I don't think I would have realized what I was doing. By the way, where is Sammy?
Sammy's out taking care of the kids. He told me you needed to talk to me.
Yes, Cheryl, come on in.
Darling, we know about the hardships your daycare has faced, and we want to help.
How would you like to be permanently here at the church?
Are you joking me?
Moving the daycare here with the kids.
Oh my goodness. That is a miracle.
And having a little extra help with clothes and my service in some afternoons.
That would be great.
And we're very serious about that.
It's such an answered prayer for us, for me. I just can't believe my ears.
It's a miracle, a wonderful miracle.
Pastor, I think things are shaping up around here.
It sure looks that way. I'm so thankful for the change that God has made in the lives of you ladies. Now, if we can get the rest of the congregation on board, I'm sure we can make some progress.
I wouldn't worry too much about that, Pastor.
I just wonder how some of the men of the church are going to react to a daycare center here.
Oh, Pastor, you just have to understand. The men might run our committees, but we women will do this work.
Right on, sister.
You go, girl.
All right, you've convinced me. How about we work out some of the details over lunch as we help Cheryl with the kids?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Pastor, I go. Like Pentecost, you know, tons of fire.
Get out, the fool's packing heat.
Everyone, calm down. Albert, let's talk about it over lunch. Come on, let's go fix the kids some sandwiches.
I think we could have a weenie
Kool-Aid.
roast with that, maybe.
Yes,
Maybe I should call the caterer.
yes. Fire department.
Tear some of them pig brains.
Ew.
You've done some great things here, Lord. I'm ready to move on now to my next assignment. And by the way, I would appreciate some new clothes. I wasn't kidding when I said they were chafing.
Sammy, now where did he go?
Doesn't seem to be around here anymore.
Well, we didn't even get a chance to help him out.
You know what? I don't think that he come here for himself.
You might be right, my friend. You might be right.